For most athletes, Olympic gold is the crowning achievement of their athletic careers, the crowning achievement of all their work. Many dream of climbing to the first step of the podium, the enthusiastic stands applauding, and the five-ring symbolism reflected in the glare on the flagpole. But there are times when even that is not enough to feel like one of many champions, but almost the only and unique one who has made a special weighty contribution to the cause of a lifetime. In this case, the ego can only be consoled by the fact that the athlete becomes the face of his sport. He is associated with this or that sport, and his name becomes a nickname or a name of some element or technique. And today's video will be about Shota Khabareli, who entered the history of judo not only with great victories, but also with a unique hold, which is named after him. Shota Khabareli was born on December 26, 1958 in Jlevishvari, Georgian Soviet Republic. Like many children in Georgia, the little Shota was engaged in national wrestling Judoka. This type of martial arts has certain similarities with judo, which largely predetermines the way to the Olympus of those who make certain successes. That's exactly what happened to Khabareli when he saw his compatriot Shota Khabareli win at the '72 Munich Olympics. Khabareli was 19 years old when he started judo. The first big results came 2 years later, when the young man went to the '79 European Championships, where he took second place. But even that did not guarantee Shota a trip to his home Olympics. First, the unique style of wrestling, inherent in many Georgians and borrowed from the national martial arts, was especially evident in Khabareli's wrestling technique. For this reason, his style was even called Anti-Judo. Second, in the Soviet Union national team, Shota had his strongest competitor, Alexei Volosov. Only their head-to-head meeting was able to decide which of the two athletes would take part in the main start of the quarter. Psychological stability and the very special style of fighting were the two components of the victory, which paved the way to the Olympic podium for the Georgian athlete. The Japanese boycott of the 80 Moscow Olympics made the competition much weaker, but in the 78 kilograms class, where Khabareli was competing, the competition was fierce all the same. The Frenchman Bernard Chulumian, the German Harald Heinck, the Bulgarian Georgi Petrov were all contenders for gold. Everyone knows that the homestands are inspiring, but it's not often said that they also make you nervous, because it's especially unpleasant to lose in front of your own audience. And when teammates drop out of the tournament one by one, the responsibility begins to press harder. But a poor showing by his teammates could not shake Khabareli's nerves. At home you fight and everybody looks up to you. My first meeting was with Heinck, whom I lost to at the European Championship because of the refereeing. After that final we met for more times and I won all of them. At the Olympics I also won and I fought well in all the other bouts. In the final I thought I was going to meet the Frenchman Bernard Chulumian. He fought against Ferreira from Cuba for the final and lost to him unexpectedly, recalled Shota Khabareli. In the final, Khabareli was saved by Judoka techniques that knocked the Cuban into a stupor. The opponent simply did not know what to do with them. Even putting up a decent resistance, Ferreira could not overpower the Soviet athlete. That's how Shota Khabareli became the Olympic champion. Everybody has his own style. The same as with us. We had and still have our Georgian style, which is probably the thing that made me stand out more than the others. That's why I became an Olympic champion, and I'm glad that later it was called Khabareli's hold. It was a trick I used to beat my opponents. It was a great honor for me when the International Judo Federation officially named it after me, Shota said. It didn't take long for me to rest on my laurels. Continuing to perform, a year after the Olympics, Khabareli took third place at the European Championship. In '82 at the Continental Championship he became the silver prize winner. And in '83 Shota won 2 bronze medals, at the European Championship and at the World Championship. The boycott of the '84 Olympics by the Soviet Union affected many athletes. Some of the strongest athletes of that time were so discouraged by this decision that they had no desire to continue their sports careers. It is unlikely that this was the determining factor, but it certainly played its part, and Khabareli also decided to hang up his kimono on the nail, moving on to coaching. Shota Khabareli was the head of the Georgian judo team for 19 years. It was during his coaching career that one of the best periods of development of this kind of martial arts in Georgia fell. Later on, Khabareli got involved in politics, in particular in the development of sports in his native country.